Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR, Justice for Summer Wells. I want everyone to watch this video. I had a conversation with the neighbor of Don and Candus Wells. It's about a 13-minute conversation that I had recorded. I actually talked to the individual longer than that. Check it out, and then I'll touch base on it. Check it out.
Up and down it.
I'm sorry?
There's creek up and down it.
Yeah, I mean, what is this creek called? The Beach Creek?
No, this is Walker's Ford.
Walker's Ford. But they all connect, right?
Well,
No?
the one.
What you're saying, she's not been seen since she is at this point.
Right there is, see that yellow sign right there?
Yeah.
So there's a video out there of her laying on milk jugs in the back of their truck. And they accidentally make a video for like 10 seconds. But you can see if they're driving and they make this curve right here. And you can see that house in the background right there, and you can see that sign on their video. From that point on, no one knows what happened to
That's
Summer.
what I'm saying. I would check this creek right here. You never know about. They could have went behind that church and thrown her in that creek.
Yeah, so the church is around the corner. What's the name of that church?
Walker's Ford.
Walker's Ford, yeah.
The creek goes right around that church right there. You can see it. You can get out there.
Has authorities, you live right there?
No, I live in the house right back in the
Oh, okay. So has authorities ever came to you guys?
No.
Nobody.
I mean, if this is the last place if she was seen, I'd start at that creek right there myself too. I mean, you know.
Have you seen like anyone around here searching at all at any point or anything like that?
I'm retired. I'm usually home about all the time.
Yeah.
But for them I don't understand it either. I'm like everybody else. They think that crazy ass bunch has done something with them, but at the same time, if they've done something with her, they had to do something with the body.
Exactly. And Sheriff Ronnie Lawson of Hawkins. This is Sullivan County, right? What's the name of your sheriff? You don't know offhand? Hawkins County Sheriff was actually encouraging residents like yourself
I can't remember what
to search barns, sheds, anything to search the area.
But the creek would be the first thing I would be looking in on the creek banks. But we've had big rain.
Yeah, and it's been a year.
You know, you asked me about, there's a lot of low lives down in the basement.
Oh, is there?
That way for too long down. There's a lot of them. I mean, strung out and stuff, but they're not that way to do it.
But I got
Yeah, they wouldn't. No one.
know what I mean?
Guys have drugs and they do their own issues, right? But for a child, we're talking like
But the
evil.
sheriff of this county would participate in about anything you done to him.
Yeah, and you guys haven't seen them do anything. And this is the route. I mean, their home is like literally 10 miles that way.
6 miles.
6 miles, so you know.
From my house there to Beacon Hill Road, 6 miles.
Yeah, but if you do go online, I don't know if you use the internet, if you go online, you will see a video of milk jugs. Summer laying on milk jugs in the back of her truck. And it's a short 10-second video. But that right there, that curve right there in that house, you can see the house in the background, is on that video. From that point, no one has ever seen her ever again. So did they go back to their home and then something happened there, or did they stop in between?
Yeah,
Churches along the way?
But
Does she appear to be alive in the video? I mean, just laying on the milk jug?
Honestly, no. She's asleep.
Well,
People are speculating she could have died somewhere that way in Kingsport.
They may have already killed her, and they if you ask me, they're crazier than hell anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you know them?
Well, no, but I mean,
You've
not
heard of
personally, but
I've
hell,
met them.
Oh, you met who?
I know them.
we know about everybody around here.
See,
But
like say, up in that, if you go past where they're up their driveway,
Yeah.
go on up, and there's a big old barn up there on the right,
Yeah.
and some people out Merlin, Richard, his name's Richard,
I don't
has
know.
got the house up behind the big barn.
I know there's a junkyard back there.
It's 2
Right?
driveways up,
Okay.
but that's where I was raised at.
Oh,
And
really?
I've got land on the other side of the road.
Okay.
On the left.
Oh, on the Beach Creek on
Ben Hill
by
Road.
on Ben Hill Road. Okay.
I own, right up above.
Okay.
See, and I used to go down and place and hunt and go down and fence, do this and that, and then
for the kids
I'd
that
meet-
run off by
I'd meet
themselves
him.
is nonsense because the terrain's too rough for them to go anywhere.
Have you met Don?
Yeah, I bet Don. See, I'd stop talking to him at times. You
Yeah.
know, just see him down there putting up a gate and
Yeah.
doing this and that.
Yeah. Have you met Candus?
Yeah, I've seen her around, but I've never really talked to her.
What's your take on them?
They look inbred.
Look inbreds.
They look like brother and sister.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I see this is Lone Star and Merle. And that video, again, it turns.
But
I'm talking
yeah,
to
that's,
a press man.
they could have done anything. Like I said, if she looked like she
But I
was
don't
asleep
think
in the
that-
back of that truck, I'd be searching them crazy.
Okay, but
Because that's the only place they could throw her out and nobody could see her, you know what I mean?
TBI's done searches in the wintertime, but when all this trees and shrubbery goes down.
man, but you know, like Terry was saying, it is so rough and growed up down in there that no kid is
That
gonna
kid
take-
ain't going to wander
I
off
mean-
in that
Yeah.
part of the
I
country.
mean, I grew up in that holler there, and it's rough. And I rode horses. That's what we rode horses in there all the time.
People
Yeah.
wonder why you just turn your kids loose out in the country and places like that around here. Well, hell, it's too damn steep for them to go anywhere.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
She
It's
wasn't-
sort of like turning them loose.
A child wouldn't go. Plus, what about this kidnapping theory? You know, they try to say, now I just went to the house, right? I went outside the house. I was on Ben Hill. I mean, how is a kidnapper even going to know a house is up there?
Yeah.
Because you can't even see.
Yeah.
Well, and why are you going to go into a house like that to kidnap when you don't know? You know, I mean, it don't.
It doesn't make sense.
No, that part's all.
Wasn't
you
the
know,
little girl supposed to start school?
That's what the mother claimed. She told the media that she was enrolling her daughter into school.
Look here. My theory, this is just my damn theory about it. I believe the sick son of bitches were sexually assaulting her, and they were afraid she'd go to school and end up telling them. And they've done something to the little girl. That's much my theory. That's because of that kind of sick.
Interesting because the schools, you know, you see your counselor there and you see the medical staff.
When kids start school, they babble. I mean, hell, I've got grandkids. They talk. You wouldn't believe some of the shit mine tells me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just a theory in my head. Sometimes that works out pretty good in a lot of people. But,
Yeah, there's a lot of discrepancies whether Don Wells, because he works for a drywall company, whether he was in Jonesboro that day really when he was, you know, working, or was he, you know, at the house. So people are wondering there.
But that's my theory behind it, that they were sexually assaulting them.
You know everybody. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's this area is beautiful, and I'm sorry it's getting a negative light, you know, on what happened and everything like that.
What's happening, man?
You know, just I hope.
Okay.
I hope she's found. You know, like.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
I've got about four.
But,
I'm
yo,
going to try to bring to keep feathers on.
Like I say, the people down there, there's not been anybody down in there forever.
I thought, they
Yeah.
had
I mean, they some low lives, but yeah, they're pretty good.
You know anything about the Bernards?
They'd kill a man over a kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what
Exactly.
I'm gonna say.
Exactly. You know, the drug thing and the low life stuff, you know, and that stuff is one thing. But when you get into kids and doing things to kids, a drug person doesn't never
They kill somebody over a kid.
Yes,
But,
exactly.
you know, that bunch, I know them. I've run with them. I've rode horses. I grew up with them.
So you go in the prison system, right? They frown upon pedophiles and guys that prey on children and stuff like that. And these are hardened criminals, and they will.
But there's no cornbread mafia. and
There's no
stuff.
cornbread mafia.
No, there's none of that shit. down
Yeah.
here. There's none of that. Hey, there's no kind of mafia down here on this creek. No war, nothing.
So you never heard of the cornbread mafia around here?
No,
No.
not that this come up. And man, I mean, we've got fighters,
Yeah.
and we're around everywhere in the country. You know, in the chicken business, stuff, people, and you don't, you know what I mean? They ain't no mafia. You know, if it was, they'd take over everything like that.
Yeah.
And
And a mafia is not going to do stuff to kids.
There's no. They just ain't no.
So do you know the Bernards?
Which sex?
George and Polly, the Bernards.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people online think Jody Sue that was living there and the Bernards are involved.
No.
And I even
Jody Sue. That's one of the local roads right now. I don't know. But yeah, they're good people. George lives out here.
Yeah.
Is a fine retard from Eastman, real good. Polly's old, and stuff. And the girl she's got kids of her own, and I know it. And Andy, the boy, I've known him since he's been a little old boy, pretty good boy. A little while, but you know what I mean. He ain't nothing. I mean, he wasn't, or they wasn't.
Yeah, because Jody Sue came out and said she heard a scream that day, and
Andy told me that.
Oh, Andy told you that? Did he really hear a scream, or she did?
Said she did, or something, and they did.
Yeah.
He told me that the other day.
Oh, so he's still talking about it. Like people are still.
He stopped down here and Monday night. I trade on some vehicles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was hunting a camper. On the road, and I've got a small one down here, but he was hunting a bigger camper.
Yeah.
And we was sitting in there talking, and he was talking about it.
I bet you they're just like hoping that she's found.
Yeah. I mean, they've got kids, and like I say, both of them's real good people.
Yeah.
She was raised good. The dad.
I did a report, and I've emphasized that I don't think that Jody Sue or any of them are involved. It seems like Polly, the mother, is friends with Sheriff Lawson. Why would they be involved? Even though they live, even though they live across the street, across the other side, people are like, oh, neighbors. What about neighbors? What about the neighbors? And then there were the other names that were thrown out, like Fred Hill.
That's a different story.
It's a different story.
Sam, we better go.
He's the worst little piece of shit.
Oh, is he? Fred Hill?
That's just him.
All right. God bless you. What's your name again?
I'm not down.
All right. God bless you. I'm gonna just do a quick video right here, and then I'm out. God bless you. All right. So, spoke to a neighbor of Don and Candus Wells. He said he owns property on Ben Hill. He also owns property here along Beach Creek. Shared interesting stuff, He didn't want to. He said, "I gotta go." He didn't really think, but very, very nice guy. Provided some insight on the Summer Wells case. So, God bless. Everyone be safe. I'm about to do a video about this sign right here. So that was a neighbor of Don and Candus Wells. I was in the area around June 15th, the 1-year anniversary of when Summer was reported missing. I was looking for Summer Wells. I was going along 347 Lone Star Road, taking pictures, searching along the banks of 347. There's a couple different types of creeks. Beach Creek is one of them. You heard the video. He told about another creek that was right in that area there. And, he stopped and he said, he saw I was wearing a press shirt and he wanted to talk. And I didn't record the beginning of the conversation. Usually I record all of it, but we spoke for maybe like 30 minutes. Did shake hands with him. He did tell me his name, forgot his name. You heard in the video, he didn't want to say his name at the end. Kind of spooked when I started bringing up Fred Hill. The neighbor owns multiple properties. He says he has property on Ben Hill Road. He owns property down on Lone Star. Local, very, very nice guy. He provided more insight about Don and Candus. He talked about the Bernards. Polly and George, Andy Bernard. He doesn't think they're involved. In my opinion, he said they're good people. Fred Hill was another story.
great, you know, it's good that I was able to speak to another neighbor of Don and Candus Wells. I've spoken to many neighbors of Don and Candus Wells, and many people in the community close to Don and Candus Wells, as close as can be, you know, and I'm out there just trying to find answers, trying to get insight, get some more information, clues, you know, of who could be responsible for what happened to Summer, who could be involved, who might know something, you know, somebody might reveal a clue where I can go off that clue and then go look into that, you know, going down these rabbit holes. Sometimes, you know, come out something good, sometimes they don't, you know, no stone left unturned. Summer Wells is missing. I was up in the area around the 1-year anniversary. I got a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to be sharing a video very soon of another neighbor of Don and Candus Wells that lives in the back of the holler. A young man in his early 30s took me into the holler to look for Summer, like right near the home of Don and Candus Wells. He guided me through the hills, ponds, trails with his dog. A very nice guy. You know, we were out, you know, and it provided more insight about the area, so stay tuned for that. I'll post that video very soon. Let me know what you think here. Let me know your thoughts, comments. Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the notification button. No stone left unturned. We are trying to find out what happened to Summer Wells. You know, when I'm out there, I thought I was recording, but let me touch something here. You know, the guy saw the press shirt, so he knew that I was affiliated with the press, which I am. I work for Original Media Group. Sometimes people don't want to talk when you have the camera on them, right? You put a camera up in their face, they're kind of shy about talking, you know. So I put the camera to the side and I record. Now, I don't know if they know or not that, you know, I'm recording it. You know, it's perfectly legal to record anyone in a public place. I kind of put the camera to the side because I don't want to really spook them, but I want to get as much information as possible. But I also want to record because I want to protect myself. When we're dealing with Don and Candus Wells in the area and the unknowns, and the fact that, you know, I'm taking a role in trying to find out what happens, you know, it could be a lot of upset people out there, you know, that could do something bad to me, could do something bad because they don't like how I'm putting this case out there and stuff like that. So I try to keep my recorder on at all times to protect myself. And against allegations and accusations and stuff. It's just for my protection, the protection of others. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope if this video could provide any more insight, you know, on this case, whatever like that. Actively looking for Summer. Got more stuff coming out, so stay tuned for that. You see my prior videos, spoke to one of the employees at the Priceless food store. Apparently Candus and Grandma were in that store for 30 minutes. We heard Candus tell Chris McDonough she was in there for 5 minutes just buying some milk and cheese and some groceries. We heard otherwise. Hunter said it was an hour. The guy that actually saw them in the store said 30 minutes. I mean, that's a long time for just a few groceries. That, you know, Grandma said out of her own mouth that once they got back to the home, they took the groceries into Candus's home, separated them, and then Summer and the boys took the groceries over to Candus's Grandma's trailer, and then Summer, you know, a little bit after that vanished. So, you know, I think that's important key. And you guys seen my video with the horse stables with the employee that said they saw the truck there all day and stuff like that. Just peeling the onion, just trying to get as much information out there as possible. Yeah, I encourage other people to do the same. You know, go back to these people. Some might, you know, that were reluctant to talk back then might be more willing to talk now because it's a year and they just want this over with, you know, and get this over with. You know, some information, any information could help. You know, we heard a TBI press conference with law enforcement on June 15th, 2022, the anniversary. And it seems like they're stuck. They don't know anything. I mean, they might know something, but they're keeping, if they do, they're keeping it under wraps. It appears they don't know anything. So it's up to us, man. It's up to us to try to crack the code, try to figure it out. Somebody out there knows something. Somebody out there knows something. So Summer's army is still alive. We're not going anywhere. I am covering this case at all angles. So everybody be safe, love your loved ones. Justice for Summer Wells.